Molly McCann says she knocked on the door and opened it for women's MMA in Britain after announcing her retirement. McCann, 34, was submitted in the first round by Alexia Thainara at UFC London before confirming her exit from the sport. McCann, who has won 14 of her 22 fights across a 10-year career, is one of Britain's most successful and high-profile women's MMA fighters in history. "This sport has given me everything. This promotion has given me everything and it deserves that back and I can't give it any more," said McCann. Don't take no for an answer. McCann retires as UK MMA icon. McCann said she wanted to retire at home with her friends and family in attendance. "The camps are too hard and, to keep it all together, it's too hard to not get the wins and take the damage," she said. Her retirement comes after 4 defeats in her past 5 fights. UFC and Dana, UFC President Dana White, "I started this sport at 24 and I have given you all my heart and soul," said McCann. "Tonight, with that performance on a week's notice, it's not good enough. The UFC deserves more. From a little girl from Norris Green fighting in arenas, look at me, look at what I've managed to do. I came, I saw, I didn't conquer and get the belt. My time is done now. The Brits that are left in, it's your time now, girls. Do more than I could. I knocked on the door and opened it." Rosie Sexton was the first British female to fight in the UFC in 2013, and McCann made her debut 5 years later. McCann, who is a former flyweight champion in UK-based promotion Cage Warriors, won 7 of her 14 bouts in the UFC, with her highlights including 2 spinning elbow knockouts in 2022. She leaves the sport having won 6 of her bouts by knockout and claiming 3 Performance of the Night bonuses, the most in UFC flyweight history. McCann showed typical focus and intensity during her walkout at the O2 Arena, while Brazil's Thainara enthusiastically jived her way to the octagon. The pair traded lefts and rights in the early stages before Thainara secured the first takedown of the contest, a move which proved to be the defining moment. The crowd attempted to rouse McCann with a succession of "Molly" chants, but it was in vain as Thainara outworked her on the floor before securing a rear naked choke. An emotional McCann took off her gloves, a gesture which usually signals retirement, as stablemate Paddy Pimblett looked on with tears in his eyes at octagon side. McCann has always worn her emotions on her sleeve, endearing her to a legion of fans even in defeat. McCann retires as one of the biggest MMA stars the UK has produced. She suffered several heart-wrenching defeats, including her UFC debut in her hometown of Liverpool, but said she never let anyone tear her down. Don't take no for an answer, said McCann when asked by the UFC about the advice she would give to young female fighters. Have that blind faith in yourself. No one's opinions can deter you from. UFC fighter Cedric Dumas is behind bars in the Florida Panhandle on robbery and battery charges. Online arrest records showed Dumas had been arrested on Monday on 5 charges related to felony home invasion robbery without a firearm, felony possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, felony possession of a controlled substance, misdemeanor battery, and misdemeanor drug equipment possession and/or use in Escambia County, Florida. UFC's Cedric Dumas arrested on charges including robbery, battery with $558,000 bond.